Imagine sleeping in your bed, dreaming of overthrowing the government, but you wake up hearing something behind you. You slowly turn around and then BAM! This is looking at you. The second coming of handsome Squidward. I've been meaning to make a video on this guy for ages. Bryan Johnson is the guy, and he has literally been in my video folder for a long time. Longer than an incel's PP at an anime convention at this point. And to basically give you the lore rundown here, he's a millionaire trying to fight the aging process. I know when you hear that, it kind of sounds like he's one of those people that just wants to get as much plastic surgery as he possibly can to look like Ken from Barbie or whatever. But it's not that casual. He's not trying any fancy creams or meditation or stoic philosophy or any of that shit. This guy's going full out. He's fighting aging like he's fighting in Mortal Kombat. Like, to give you a scope on how crazy this guy's routine is, he probably takes more pills in a day than you or I do in 5 years. Like, he's doing this stuff every single day. He's really on his drug grind. He could honestly probably put a drug addict to shame with the amount of pills he takes in a day. Honestly though, the stuff he does for science is pretty goddamn cool. And even though it's not really contributed massively to anything or led to any groundbreaking discoveries, what he's doing and how he's kind of donating his body to the whole research scene is pretty awesome. And I'm sure after he's dead, something's gonna come out. Or maybe if we find that he's living until 160, people are gonna take notice. And I'm sure he'll discover something down the line. But some of the stuff that he does and some of the concepts that he has is just so goddamn goofy. Like, for example, I'm sure most people know of this guy by the time he tried to suck the blood out of his son and then put it in his own body. Hence the title of this video. And of course, he's also well known for making inspirational YouTube posts like, "No sleep, no boners." But what does he mean by that? But when he had the blood transfusion with his son, I remember people were so pissed about that happening. Like, the old men on Facebook were acting like they had their gun rights taken away. It was wild. Bryan Johnson also has absolute bangers on his YouTube channel. Like, I edited my DNA on a secret island to live forever. My ex-fiance sued me for $9 million. And the magnus opus of his channel, how I'm de-aging my penis. Now you click on a video like that expecting some wild stuff, but honestly, pretty underwhelming. The video's super chill. It's just him walking around Los Angeles or wherever the fuck he lives. I just assume Los Angeles. Just getting his penis blasted with medical research. As you do. Now I already follow our boy Bryan here because I unironically think that what he does is insanely cool and interesting. I might have mentioned that already in the video. I kind of can't remember. But about a month ago, our boy Bryan did an oopsie, and I meant to make a video on it at the time, but you know, I was banned from YouTube. Now, even though I'm late, like always, I'm gonna talk about it anyway. Bryan Johnson basically became the real-life version of the Giga Chad. Now, the reason he looks like this isn't because he got some BBL plastic surgery on his face or something like that. What ended up happening was he did a procedure that he called Project Babyface. Not a weird name, that's fine. And basically, the idea behind the project was exactly what the name entails. Like, he just wanted a baby face. He wanted to de-age his face as much as possible. Now, according to him, because of his strict diet, he lost a lot of fat everywhere, but especially in his face. And so somehow he came to the conclusion, I'm not sure if he asked doctors or if it's his own opinion or whatever it is, but he came to the conclusion that having face in your face makes you look young. No, having fat in your face makes you look young. At least that's what he said. And so the idea to fix this problem was essentially to inject his face with fat. Now, where did he get this fat from? No fucking clue. Did he tackle an obese person on the street, bring him into the lab, suck the fat out of him, and immediately put it into his face? That's left to be seen. But whatever fat he ended up putting in his face, he got a massive allergic reaction to it. And so, you get nightmare fuel. Thankfully, he's all good now. Nothing really happened to him. I mean, the dude just blew up like a pufferfish, and I think he said like a week later he was okay. So all is good in the end. I think the worst thing that he had to deal with was that he couldn't see for a while, which... who needs eyesight anyway? Anyway, he made a post talking about the situation on Instagram, and basically the TLDR is, I fucked up. It's funny because if you go to the comment section on this post where he's talking about his situation, people are so fucking pissed. All that money could have been spent on something useful instead of looking like this. Dear oh dear, this is what happens when someone has more money than sense. This is literally like Twitter where people get mad at you for breathing, man. Bro turned into a woman. You're seeing some interesting women out there, my guy. Can I get in on some of that? But what I think Bryan is really going for here is the combination of aesthetics and actual youthfulness in his body. And I think he's doing that because he wants people to eventually follow his program if it ends up being successful. And let's face it, if most people are gonna look like a fucking skeleton when they're doing his program, they probably won't do it. I mean, people in general have a hard enough time following through with anything in their life that has some degree of difficulty to it. I can't imagine what it would be like for them to try and follow something where they don't see any results at all. So to me personally, I think it makes sense that he's trying to balance both of those worlds. At least that's what it seems like he's trying to do from my perspective. I don't know, he could be on some new world order shit with putting baby fat into his face. Who fucking knows? The thing about Bryan Johnson is that while he's doing all this stuff and he's putting himself through an intense routine in order to kind of de-age his entire body, he hasn't had any scientific breakthroughs yet. So essentially what he's doing is running on doctor speculation, which I guess isn't a bad thing, but the reality is we probably aren't going to see any of the results from his work for a very, very long time. Especially if the guy lives to be like 140 or something. You or me aren't going to see any of his results because we'll be dead, man. We'll be up there chilling with Jesus while Bryan is getting his 14th de-aging penis procedure, you know? Now again, I want to mention that what I think he's doing is great. There are so many people in this world that earn a shit ton of money and then just fuck off to retirement for the rest of their lives and contribute nothing to society, which isn't precisely a bad way of living. When you're comparing it to someone contributing their entire existence to studying science and making contributions to essentially immortality, I think that's amazing. And especially because Bryan clearly has such a passion for it. If you watch any of his videos, guy's happy. He's over the moon happy. You would guess he's on like cocaine or something. The guy's so energetic. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this guy. Thanks for watching, fellas. I'll see you later.